Hi, I'm David with Media Unlocked, and today I'm going to be talking about how to set up your wireless flash system using your Canon T3i. Now, if you didn't know, you actually have a transmitter built into your T3i that can transmit right to your 430EX or 580. So you don't need like a Pocket Wizard or Cowboy Studio setup, a transmitter and a receiver, because the T3i actually has that built in. Now, the T2i does not have that built in. So the first step you want to do is you want to put your camera in the M mode. So you want to go up to the top of your camera, scroll your dial all the way to M. Then you want to hit Menu. Once you've hit Menu, you want to scroll all the way down to where it says Flash Control. So we're going to click on that. And then as far as your flash control, we want to enable flash firing. So that's enabled. We want to do the average on the ETTL2 meter. And we want to go into the built-in flash function settings. Now, before I go in and kind of explain how all the functions work together to get your flashes to work, you kind of need to understand what some of these icons mean. So it's kind of like almost speaking a language. Understanding this, you're able to you can set up your flashes a lot easier when you understand a certain thing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go down to wireless flash function, and actually before we do that, you want to set up your custom wireless. So you want this to be set up in custom wireless. I've got it set up in manual. Let's set it back up to ETTL. Now, if you don't know what ETTL is, the best way to describe what ETTL is pretty much almost an automatic flash setting. So your flash is going to actually figure out what it needs to shoot, and it's going to put out the power that it thinks it needs to. So it's kind of like putting your camera in auto mode instead of manual mode. So we're going to put it in the ETTL for the time being. And we're going to go over a few things. So we're going to start off with, if you notice the icon that looks almost like a dog is barking here, that icon, and that's the middle icon right there, that means that is your speed light. So that represents your off-camera speed light. Now, if you notice there's a second, almost smaller dog barking, or whatever you'd like to call it, that has to represent your on-camera flash. So the flash that is built into the camera. That is pretty much your transmitter. So that is going to go off when you take a shot, and it transmits to your 430EXs or 580s. So actually, let's pop back in here. So let's go back in. So you know what those two items are. Now, if you notice, there are colons here. Anytime a colon pops up, the colon means ratio control between two flash systems. So that means one flash system may put out more power than the other flash system. And I'm actually going to show you how you can actually control the power output of your flash setup. And then if you scroll down here, so that's the ratio control between your slave, external slave, and your onboard flash. Then you have just regular onboard flash, which most of you will probably be using this setting right here because you really don't want to be using this too much. And then the third is you have a dog, which is the flash, and then a plus sign, and then your onboard flash. Now, the plus sign is two or more flash systems act as one. So they're going to fire at the same exact light setting. So they're gonna work as a team, where here you can actually mix up the how much power you want to put out, or here you just have the control over just the external flash. Now, the thing that they haven't fixed that I really don't like is that even though you're just using the external flash right here, your onboard camera flash still flashes a little bit, but it has to transmit. So, and I will show you that here in a minute. So I'm going to click on this. Now, you have different channels that you can put them on. So I'm not going to mess with channels today. We're just going to keep it on channel 1. And then you can do firing groups. You can do all the groups at once, or you can do an A and B group. And I'm going to show you how to set up all or A or B. And then you have your exposures down here. So what we're going to do now that you have an idea of kind of how some of this works, I'm going to set up one flash, and I'm going to show you how to get one flash to operate. And then I'm going to show you how to get multiple flashes to operate through this system. So that's going to be our next step. So I'll be back here in a minute. Okay, so let's set up the camera to do one flash. So we're going to grab a 430EX here, and we're going to set up just one single camera. So let's take the lens off of this camera, Menu, Flash Control, Built-in Flash Function Settings. Now we got it in ETTL. We've got it just single slave mode here, as you guys can see. One channel, and it's going to fire all the groups. So we need to turn our flash on. Now, let me zoom in here. Now, as you can see, you have channel 1 and A. So we got it on channel 1 and in group A, and it's in slave mode. Now, to take a 430EX in and out of slave mode, it's just a button right down here. You just pull it to the side and it's gone into slave mode. So 430EX is in slave mode, and we'll zoom out just a little bit. And we'll go back into our settings, flash control. All right, and before it's going to fire, you do need to do one thing. You have a button right here. I don't know if you guys can see that right there or not. See if I can zoom in. Hit this button with your camera on. And that button is going to pop open your transmitter pretty much. So I'm going to set this back up. Double check our flash settings, make sure we're satisfied here. Yep, all the settings are the way I want them. And let's just snap a shot. Now if you notice, the flash went off. I have... or if I want to shoot the flash straight in, and then it shoots straight into the room. Now, if you go down to built-in flash settings, and we got our fire group, and then you can do your exposures too. So, depending on what exposures you want, I want to go 2+ here. And you get, it gives you a little bit more light there. So now what I'm going to show you guys how to do is how to hook up 3 different flashes. I have all together, I've got 4 different flashes. And you know you're in slave mode when you're getting, if you notice this little red light right here is blinking. You need, this transmitter here needs to be able to talk to this guy. Now, the one thing I do not like about this is when you do fire, if you notice, I'll try to bounce it off my hand here. If you notice, this transmits some light. Now you can dumb it down a little bit so it doesn't transmit as much light, but it's going to go off. So what I'm working on trying to figure out how to do is to build some kind of item that will go in the front of this that is thin enough that it can still put out a signal, but thick enough that it's going to really block out the light. And Fergie, who is, you guys have seen in my DIY projects and stuff like that, he's helping me out with that. We're going to try to come up with something that would be easy that you guys can make right there around the house, or something you can run to Lowe's and build it real quick, and it's simple, and put it on your camera so that you only have to worry about your flashes, your external flashes, pretty much putting out light. So our next step is to do multiple flashes. So what we're going to do is, let me set my little mount up here. Let's turn her back on. Let's go into menu. Now we're going to go into some more custom flash settings. So we're going to go from ETTL to manual flash. And we're going to still leave it in the slave mode here. And let me zoom in so you guys can see everything I'm doing here. So we're going to go back into just regular slave mode. We're going to do one channel. I'm going to do an A and B group. Now the cool thing is, if you notice here, you have the option to actually control, now that you're in custom settings, you have the option to actually control how much light your flash is putting out. So say you have 2 flashes that are shooting a subject straight on, and a 3rd flash behind the subject. Now you only want so much light from the one behind the subject. So you can actually physically control how much light you're going to put, how much light the flash will actually output from behind the subject. So we've got a 430. Now we got a 430EX2. Now some of you may get a little confused trying to figure out how to put a 430EX2 into slave mode. So I'm going to try to help you out with that. It's really simple. You see the zoom button up here? Hold that down. and then you have slave mode. Now if you want to control your slave mode, hit the zoom button once, twice. Now if you see, you can go and you can change your channel. It's already set in B. My other two flashes are going to be set in A. So I've got this set up how I want it. Also, if you guys ever wonder what this number up here means, 24 millimeters, it has to do with how far out spread the flash is. So right at 24, it's more of a spread out flash, and then as you get a higher and higher number, it's more direct. So say you upped it to like actually let's up it. So say I upped it to like 80. What that 80 is going to do is it's going to give you more of a more narrow, straightforward flash, where at 24 it's going to spread your flash more out. So your flash is actually going to go more out and do a more broad spectrum at 24. So we've got this flash set up, and let's zoom back out here. So we've got two flashes set up here, and we're about to turn on the third flash. Hopefully that's quite in focus. We have a third flash here. I don't have a base stand for it, and I'm going to set it up on channel 1A, and let's shoot all the flashes right into this room here. So again, you want to make sure you're getting that red light. So I'm flashing red here. Make sure your transmitter is popped up here, so we're ready to go. We can run 3 flashes now. And if you guys want to see the third flash, actually you guys is like completely being blocked. So what we're going to do is we're going to come up a little bit here. Back up. So as you can see, I have 3 flashes set up, one here, and then I have a third right there. So turn the camera on. Menu, make sure all my settings are how I want them. Alright, custom, manual, slave, channel 1, firing group A and B. So this guy's B, this one and this are both A. So group A, I've got them set at 1/28 right now. So what it means is it's only going to put out a very, very small amount of power. Now if I wanted to put, let's see here, let's just do half power at 1/2. So we're going to set it to 1/2 power for group A, and then group B. Let's give group B full power. Let's give them 1/1. So that means that this flash right here is shooting at full power. This one and this are shooting at half power. All right. So let's snap a shot. And if you noticed, all 3 flashes went off there. So say I want group A to shoot at the lowest power possible, because I just need just a little bit of light. So we're going to go down here. We're going to switch all the way over to 1/28. And so this is going to be shooting full power. Like, this is going to give the most power possible. These two are going to give very minimal power. So let's snap a shot. And if you notice, the flash was a lot brighter off this one than it was off these two. We'll do one more shot here. And it's kind of hard to see because flashes are so quick. And also, you don't want to go over a shutter speed of 200 when you work with the flash, because you're going to get, actually I will show you what it looks like if you do like a shutter speed. Let's do a, oh well, I guess in the T3i it doesn't allow you to push the shutter speed over 200. You can do that in the T2i, I believe. I can push it over to whatever I want it to. But if you go over 200, what's going to happen is you're going to get these, it's going to be like a black line, and the more you go over, like say you go like 500, you're going to get a black line right in the middle of your picture. So there'd be like black, and you'd only get part of your picture. And reason being is it has to do with the speed of the flash and the shutter. So this is how you work the very basic settings of your T3i flash setup, which really works really, really well. So I'm going to zoom in here for all the people that did not get a good look at what the back of the camera looks like when you're running 3 cameras. So, and let's, nice and crisp, okay. Menu, flash control. I'll show you these once more. So, I have it in manual flash at the moment. That's how you're going to be able to control 3 different flashes. I've got it in what's the barking dog, which means it controls external flash. I've got it on one channel. You could do multiple channels if you needed to. Now you have the option to do also, if I went to all three of these flashes would be running on the same exact flash. But I want to be able to control the one over here to my right, the 430EX2. I want to be able to control its very specific light settings. And you can do this manually with the actual flash if you want to go in and do your light settings, but it's way easier to just do it with the camera. So we're going to do A and B groups. And then if you see A and B right here, this allows me to go in and set the exposure, you know, how much power, how much light is the flash actually putting out. So I hope this helps people out that have the T3i that were wondering how to work their flash settings, because it really is kind of confusing. Again, I'm going to go over some of the settings. So the barking dog is your speed light slave. Then the smaller barking dog, which is really your transmitter right here. That is your flash up top, so that's this guy right here. The plus sign means 2 or more flash systems act as one. So if you see a plus sign, that's meaning that 2 or more flash systems are going to act as one. So if I did this, all 4 flashes would work together, including, you know, the 4th being this up here. All right, now if you get the colon sign, which you don't get here, so let's show you what the colon looks like once more. We wouldn't have to go back into ETTL mode, which is like an automatic mode. You get the colon sign here. Now the colon sign means ratio control between the 2 flash systems. And then A and B and C and all that type of stuff represents your different flash groups. So I hope this has been informative. I'm also going to leave a link down below in my description bar, and I might put a clickable link on this video of somebody that has a much more intuitive video, in a manner of speaking. I think that this video that I came across on YouTube really explains the system a little bit better than I have. You know, I'm here to help you guys out, so I don't care if you guys watch someone else's video to get your answer, you're watching my video to get the answer. I just want people out there that are doing photography and videography to have all the help that I had when I was learning the skill many years ago. So I hope this helps you guys out. Check me out on Facebook, Twitter, at David D Images. Also, our email is mediaunlocked101@gmail.com. If you guys got any questions or comments, please leave them down below. Send me messages, and I really do try to make an attempt to answer everybody's comment and message.